Okay. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining at this short notice, and it's really very nice having you all here for an interaction with the exhibition venues. I'll quickly introduce who all are here as participants. We have the IEIA Executive Committee, Mr. S. Balasubramanian, President. We have Mr. Bhupinder Singh with us, who is Honorary Secretary. Then we have Mr. Gaurav Juneja, who is our Honorary Treasurer. Then we have Ms. Sonia Prasher. She is our Executive Committee member. Then we have Mr. Ravinder Sethi, who is also our Executive Committee member and International Ambassador. And then we're waiting for, we have Mr. Dharampal Singh, who's also on our EC committee. So we're waiting for Mr. Sudeep Sarkar.
Mr. Suraj Dhawan.
Yes, I'm just coming to that. Mr. Sudeep Sarkar is just joining. So we have Mr. Suraj Dhawan, who is also on our executive committee. Mr. Sudeep Sarkar, our vice president, has also just joined. So this is our executive committee members, and Mr. Yogesh Mutras is joining as well. He is just entering. And
excellent.
yes, so we have
Hi,
Mr.
Yogesh.
Ras as well, our executive committee member. Now I'll come on to the other main dignitaries. We have Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, who is Executive Director, ITPO. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. Mr. Ravi Borodkar, who's representing SIDCO. And then we have from Hightex, Mr. Shrikant, Mr. Kuna Shankar, and Mr. Sambit. So welcome, everyone. And then we have Mr. Ranil Kumar on behalf of Chennai Trade Center. Then we have, these are all our participants. I hope I'm not missing on anyone. Yeah. So we are waiting for some more venues to join from Clark Samir, yet to join. Yes. So over to our president.
Okay, thanks, Nidhi, and good afternoon, everyone. And
I think Mr. Rajesh Agarwal's another ID is being showing us entering now. So
okay,
maybe welcome him as well. Yeah.
okay. Good afternoon once again, and thank you everyone for joining at a short notice. It's been a pleasure to have you all here today for very informal discussions along with the venue owners in India. Of course, we all know what has been in the past and how we have been very badly affected and how we are taking care of our own industry and our own space. IEA has been proactive in during the lockdown period, and we have done several initiatives during the lockdown, including several webinars and several master classes to our stakeholders, and also making representation to the governments and the other departments where we could take some kind of help. We started giving some kind of request in terms of representation of relief measures, and then followed with some kind of stimulus asking for the industry. Of course, for the moment, all that is not being important, but what we are currently looking at is the restart of the exhibition. In between, we also developed a very strong SOP and also we have partnered with ITPO also, and we did a very SOP which has already been submitted through ITPO to various departments. Currently, I believe it is the Ministry of Home Affairs, and we were very positive that probably during the Unlock 3, there could be some announcement for the exhibit industry. And unfortunately, we couldn't hear anything, but we are quite positive that probably during the Unlock 4 announcement, somewhere in the end of the month, we should be hearing something for our industry. So we do not want to leave any opportunity lost. So we thought probably let's work. Of course, we've been doing it in the past, but we have taken a target for ourselves in the next few days and couple of weeks. We need to make some kind of strategic move so that the attention goes to the government, and during the Unlock for some kind of announcement is this for the industry. And we thought as the very primary things among the stakeholders, venue are the important in the value chain, and they play a very important role in the exhibition industry. So we thought as an immediate move that what we can do is we could have a very close discussion with the venues in terms of understanding what are the thought processes, how are they placed at the moment, and how do they look at in terms of restarting, when do they happen. So that's the reason this was the first. The advocacy committee of the IEA met in the last few days. We've done some strategic action plan, out of which this is one important thing that we want to do it right at the beginning. So we are here with all the venue owners, and we would like to have your thought process, your views, and what are the immediate action points that we need to do it, take it up with the government so that we could hear some kind of positive response coming during the Unlock 4.0. With that note, I will leave it to Bhupinder to take it up and have his remark, and then start the discussions on. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bala. You covered everything well. Just one thing from my side is also to underline the fact that the venues work very closely with the state governments and also the central governments. Their ears are much closer to the ground of how government thinks, what kind of state policies are being formed, and I mean that was also visible. It's no secret that Ravi Bhai helped us to get Mr. Gadkari on board, and it was such a swift experience for us to have Ravi lead that initiative, and everything fell in place. So as you rightly mentioned, Bala, the advocacy committee's proposal also underlines that fact. And we are coming from the background that can we look at these venues to become the lighthouse for the exhibition industry for those particular states, and hear to what they have got to say, listen to them, and based on that, we can carve out a strategy moving forward. So Nidhi, how do you propose, how do we move forward? Do you want to go one by one? Is there order, or please advise?
So we definitely want to hear to all the venues, their perspectives and suggestions. So maybe start with Delhi and ITPO. May I request Mr. Rajesh Agarwal to kindly share his views?
Thank you, and thank you IEA for organizing this, and thank you Bala, and thank you Bhupinder ji for initial remarks. I think exhibition industry, as I have said earlier also, is in midst of a very grave challenge right now, and we are still experiencing this challenge in India. I understand there is a need to restart exhibition industry also in some way or other. So we have been in regular dialogue with the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and also with MHA to see how we can restart the exhibition industry in some way or other. The grave concern I feel in the minds of the government, and rightly so, is also, I think, one is that some of the exhibition venues are already being utilized as COVID centers. I think Bangalore BIEC is being in case in point, Chennai Trade Center is being utilized. Karnataka Whitefield facility is also been requisitioned by the government. And even I think the Pragati Maidan was requisitioned in some way by the government, which could ward away for some time. And fortunately, Delhi has been improving over last 15 days. So we hope that Pragati Maidan will not go the same way. So one hand, the governments have been looking at venues as one of the potential COVID centers because of the large size of exhibition facilities, infrastructure that we possess. So they are looking at it that aspect. Two, I think still the mass transport facilities in most of the cities have not been opened up. So that is again an impediment that government sees in case you want to set up exhibitions. We have to first think of how we can start metro before we start exhibitions in Delhi or similarly in other cities. So that is also a question coming up, which we are trying to convey, that what we are talking of, it is not a full-fledged exhibitions at the outset, because these will be B2B exhibitions, maybe limited in size, because right now we can't expect too much of foreign participation. But still, if we make a beginning, I think it will give a lot of positive vibes for the industry and let industry start planning its future in a much better fashion. At the third, I think government is thinking that in case, even if they permission, how do they control? Because once they permit these kind of exhibitions, do they set up boundaries for these exhibitions? Do they provide certain parameters that these size exhibitions should only be held? So those are also some of the thoughts which are on the table of DOC right now, and they are thinking seriously about it. My sense is that I have been pushing them to give us a future date. You have missed out now lockdown 3 also. We expected something in lockdown 3. Give us something for lockdown 4, at least give us a date of 1st November maybe, so that we can start planning, start doing something. It is not that you will announce a date and lot many exhibitions will be held, because there are multiple other factors also which determine how an exhibition can be held. Just because government says you can hold exhibitions, I don't think we'll straight on want to go ahead and hold an exhibition. We'll need to have convinced the exhibitor also that this exhibition will mean business. We'll need to bring in business buyers also and need to give them that sense that this whole exhibition is about is taking care of all health safety measures that are uh, necessary in the present scenario. So it's going to be a tough battle for us also once we restart, but at least the first signal needs to come from the government. I think yesterday also I made this point very clear to the concerned people in the government. So maybe I hope we'll keep on pursuing, and I hope the lockdown 4, we are able to see some future date from which exhibitions in some measure can be initiated, with state governments definitely being empowered to also prohibiting exhibitions if they like, because the COVID curve in across the country is behaving differently. Every state is having its own curve. So having a blanket open policy without any caveats for the state governments will also be difficult. So that also we have proposed, that you do have a, like in many other cases, they have given a blanket open policy from Government of India, central government, and have also let states to decide if they want to impose certain restrictions beyond that, depending on the individual state situation. And many states have gone beyond the Government of India policies and have imposed bans on, have gone for lockdowns, have imposed travel bans and things like that. So different states will exercise their own decision in this matter. But first of all, at GOI level, we should bring it as a part of a lockdown 4 policy. I am quite hopeful that we should see something because the first beginning has to be made from lockdown 4 at least, so that the states also start talking about this idea that exhibitions are important and we need to let them carry on the business as usual in some way or other. So because states will then, different states will react to it differently. And Delhi, I am hopeful with the curve, the way it is going, if it carries on for next 10, 15 days also, and if lockdown 4 gives us some positive signals, I hope Delhi will, Delhi government will also go along with us and support us, because if that support comes, then as ITPO, we are very keen to hold our IITF also this year. It's a flagship event that we have been having for last 40 years. So we don't want to miss upon this also. So we are separately approaching the ministry for some sort of support on IITF, some decisions on IITF, and also special permission for holding IITF in a very different format, in a very limited way, but still going ahead with IITF, so that this whole legacy of 40 years don't take a break this year due to COVID. So that has also been our effort. So we are very hopeful, and we hope things turn around for the exhibition industry in next 3-4 weeks, and we do have some good news come end of last week of this month. I'll be open to any other thing that we like to talk about or listen to, as and when. If anybody has any questions on what is happening, I'll be very happy to open that. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. That was so nice of you in terms of giving us the heads up into as to the initiatives and the efforts that is taking from your ITPO, and probably I think we have to work together, and so that we can also pile on your efforts and see that, you know, how the exhibition industry benefits. The other thing in the last point also, what Bhupender also mentioning, we were also thinking that is it not a good time for also the venue to start lobbying with the state government? I'm sure you would be doing it from your part also, that we also thought that probably we will request, like Delhi can do it, Mumbai can do it, Bangalore can do it, Chennai can do it, Hyderabad can do it. We are thinking of probably sending out a letter from the IEA side, and that aspect probably also we would require some kind of support from also from coming on the side, so that a letter separately to MHA going from the venue side, because they playing a very important role in the value chain. It also makes a very big difference in terms of, you know, understanding and putting through the real issue and seeing that some kind of support comes from the government. So that's been our target, and I'm sure we will come back to you or help and on this particular matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bala, I have one question to Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, thank you very much. This is Sonia Praj. Just wanted to check about IITF. When you're talking of IITF, you are looking at the same time frame as you had all these years, which is 14th to 27th of November. Right?
Yeah, that's precisely the point, because IITF has been held in November 14th to 27th for like 4 decades now. So we want to carry on this legacy. We will not be able to replicate IITFs in the past. We will not be able to be of the same size, but we want to carry on the legacy with lot of good protocols in place so that it also becomes a testing ground for holding exhibitions in present COVID times. So we are going much beyond the SOP that we have prepared for B2B events, and we are committing beyond that we'll follow these guidelines, which are much beyond COVID SOP that we have prepared with the help of all of you and sent to MHA and DOC. So the idea is, because if government takes the call and if we are able to, as being a government body, we are able to hold an exhibition well, I think this will give a positive signal to the entire industry and give a lot of confidence to the entire industry to restart. So that is also in that background, we are approaching DOC. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I think that would be brilliant. I mean,
Bala, I have one question for Mr. Agarwal.
Yeah, please.
Hi. Mr. Agarwal, hi, good afternoon. I'm Yogesh Mudras from Inform Markets, and we have a few shows lined up in Pragati Maidan in the month of December. And it's a very, very heartening news to hear from you that you're planning to put something in the month of November, and you're hoping that you might get a kickstart and approval from the government for that. And it's really heartening because we have shows lined up. And do you think that this will also help us as private organizers also get approvals as soon as?
I think so. Once the government allows for a B2C event in November, then I don't think there is any logic to keep B2B events away beyond that. So definitely the whole idea behind building up this IITF thing is, see, we were not sure whether we can hold IITF or not, but we took this call last week only. We will go ahead and at least propose holding an IITF in a different manner, so that if it makes a good beginning, because IITF is a legacy event, and for any government also, it is a matter of pride that they will like to carry on this event. So at least this will become a talking point and at least push the government to take a decision in the matter. Otherwise, what we have seen, this is, though we have been pursuing it for more than a month now for exhibition or for giving a future date for reopening of exhibition industry, I think there are so many things lined up on plate of the government that right now the ministry is not able to focus too much on exhibition industry. There are too many other issues which are far more important probably from their perspective. So the idea was, IITF being a legacy event, can we bring the whole exhibition industry into perspective by forcing a decision on this one?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Maybe now move on to another venue.
Can I just, Nidhi?
Yes, sir, please.
Could I just make a comment, please? Question to Mr. Agarwal sir. Thank you so much, Ravinder Sethi here. You've answered by almost always same question. At least we're coming to some sort of a date. It's very relevant what you said, that you are looking for two things right now, if I'm correct. First of all, of course, unlock down to B2B, and B2C IITF as an exception or as a general rule?
See, B2C, I am looking as an exception. I am not saying you promote B2C right now. But my whole argument is, if you are allowing malls to function, and
yes,
malls are opening up, why not allow a B2C event in a venue like Pragati Maidan? It carries on the legacy. It helps me test my own protocol. And also it gives me a window to bring back the B2B events that are lined up beyond December. Because there are huge, we are completely booked from December to March. And for ITPO, in case things are improving in the Delhi as they are, we will like to be in business as soon as possible.
Right. Yeah. Right. One more supplement, sir. Sorry, I'm taking other people's times. When you're going to be looking for B2B, would you be looking for an all India opening B2B and then let the state governments decide?
Yeah, that's because as Government of India cannot have a state-specific policy, the Government of India will need to have the major guidelines of Unlock 1, 2, 3. If you look at, these are broad guidelines for all India that are given by Government of India, with a small caveat that state government cannot loosen beyond, cannot open up beyond what Government of India guidelines are there. but they can always keep some sectors or some few things more closed depending on the situation they are facing. And many state governments are exercising that, and they are being more conservative than the central government. So that, I think, right will remain with the state governments, and the states will take their own call. Because I can't say the situation is same in Delhi vis-a-vis Kolkata or Bangalore or Chennai or Mumbai or Hyderabad. Every city is facing its own kind of problem. So, or every city government has got its own kind of response, state government. So they will take their, in our case also, I think Delhi government will take a call. It is not going to be, if you remember when construction ban was eased up across the country by central government from 3rd May, it took us 16 days to convince Delhi government and get approval for restarting our construction at the ITPO Pragati Maidan venue. On 19th May, we could restart after approval on 18th May. So that change will be there. The state government convincing, and as I think Mr. Bala has rightly said, some bit of lobbying and engagement with the state governments is also necessary, so that as and when central government gives a green signal, I think we are able to convince the state governments also, and depending on the situation we are in, we are able to move this forward.
Thank you, sir. That was really encouraging to hear all your thoughts and plans. Maybe now move on to the next venue, which is India Expo Center in March. May I request Mr. Sudeep Sarkar to kindly share his views? Over to you, Mr. Sudeep.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Rajesh Agarwalji, sir. Thank you for your comments. And I will come to the points quickly. In my view, what I am able to see that the travel, the air has already been opened, the air part. The hotels have been given a go-ahead by the government, both for small get-togethers as well as for housing the COVID or the transit guests. The movement amongst the states have been given a go ahead, so that logistics is not a challenge anymore. And the further relaxation given by the government in the last announcement for the gyms and that of the malls has definitely created a very positive scenario for all of us to come together and discuss about the exhibition industry, which very rightly put forward by Rajesh sir is amongst several other important things. Government is following a priority, and maybe another month and our priority comes on the top of the government's mind. So given in the situation, I would not predict what's going to happen or comment what might not happen. What needs to be done by a venue, or by a venue like IML, or for that matter for venues in north or east or west and south, they must start lobbying with their respective state governments, which Bala President has also said very correctly. That is a must. We must start doing that advocacy with the states. And the most important thing is that all the sectors that have opened recently have a set of SOP. So rather than we keeping the SOPs open to the government for them to decide and come back to us, we should carry our SOPs in small 10 points, not beyond that. And we must establish this through a form of a technology, because this government is highly focusing on the aid of technology in holding large events or conferences, or for that matter, even the public administration part of it. If we can demonstrate through technology, yes, we can take care of the delegates or the exhibitors or the visitors or the logistics that is going to happen, and demonstrate that we can hold B2B events. I am, sir, not going for B2C events as of now. B2B events, I think we can establish, and to the satisfaction of the central and the state authorities very clearly, that we are now ready. I'm saying now, from the month of September, we are ready to hold the events in the month of November. Now, why I said September? Because we all know that we would need minimum 3 months time for our preparation. And if we go to the government with this clear 10, I'm just giving point number 10, it could be 11, 15 points, but we must include the part of technology also very clearly, so that it is very clearly understood and accepted by the government that what we are saying is very much doable, and we must demonstrate it through a form of a graph, or maybe a flow chart, or maybe a technology. Once the government accepts or understands that yes, it is a doable thing, then I'm sure the getting permission for shows in November would not be a challenge. But the government must understand that yes, this is a doable thing, and for that we need to have a very clear certain SOPs for the venues, for the organizers, for the logistics, and for the visitors. 2 points or 3 points or 4 points each in a flow chart, maybe in a diagrammatical manner, and with the help of technology, we should give it in a 5-page or 6-page PPT to the government that this is how we intend to go through. And if we can, do that education back to back end with our organizers and the venue and the logistics service providers, I think then we will have a larger chance. Here there is a speculative element I have utilized. There is a larger chance of going to the appropriate authorities with a particular analytical framework, and it would be an easier way to get a yes or no, rather than being sent back and forth for further discussions. So this is my submission. This is how we would, from Eximart, would like to put forward our submission to IIA.
Thank you, Mr. Sudeep. That was also very informative, and it's really important to convince the government that exhibitions can take place. So we've noted your suggestions, and may I now request Mr. Ravi Borodkar, who is representing CIDCO. Sir, please share your views and perspectives as well as suggestions, and kindly also update the situation with regard to what's happening in Mumbai. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Nidhi. Am I audible?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. It was indeed a good perspective given by Mr. Rajesh Agrawal and also by Mr. Sudeep Sarkar.
We're disconnected, I believe.
We lost your voice, sir.
No, I can't see him also.
Okay. I think he got disconnected.
Disconnected?
Yeah, he seems to have got disconnected. So maybe request Mr. Anil Kumar. Mr. Anil Kumar, who's representing the Chennai.
Ravi's joined. Ravi's joined. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Ravi. So are you able to hear us? Mr. Ravi, are you able to hear us, please?
You're already unmute yourself.
Kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah. I think I'll switch on the video also because I've seen that I have some bandwidth problem.
Yes.
I was totally locked out. Anyway, I think my situation is also like Mumbai, pretty bad. In fact, Mumbai situation is worst, and moreover, the exhibition centers in Mumbai have been taken over by government for the COVID centers. So there is a total confusion. We don't know when they will release the centers. Because CIDCO itself, I think CIDCO was one of the first center to go in for
We are unable to hear you, sir.
NESCO 1 and other exhibition centers in Mumbai, they have been taken over by either Bombay Municipal Corporation or Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporations. And we are not sure when they will release, either by November or October, but that shall be a long wait, it seems. Well, coming back to our initiatives to set the ball rolling, I think we need to first demonstrate at least one exhibition which can happen by following all the SOPs and maybe with all kind of guidelines. So ideally, I think we all should put for as an association also, we all should get together and Mr. Agrawal should make an initiative to do at least one B2B event in Pragati Maidan. Because I'm sure Pragati Maidan will have an easy access to get a nod from the central government. And if we are able to demonstrate one exhibition happening there, then maybe with that example, we can go to the state governments and ask them, yes, now Pragati Maidan has already announced the dates for so-and-so exhibition. You also need to think about it and give us a clear mandate, either from November or December, from when we can start doing the booking or start announcing the new exhibitions. Because unless there is that kind of demonstration, it will be really difficult for state governments to convince them, at least for states like Maharashtra, because since exhibition centers was an easy option for them to start this quarantine centers, and which is right now running. So I think they are cool with that. So they do not want to get into, they are ready to open the malls, but they are still not thinking about this exhibition centers. So I think demonstrating one good thing, and then maybe, we need to follow with the central government first to give the guidelines. And when the center permits, based on that, we can follow up with the state governments. These are my views. And the rest, I think we all know what kind to follow another thing.
So if anyone has a question for Mr. Ravi, kindly please raise your hands or speak up.
Raviji, that was a great suggestion, and probably, probably that is one model. Probably we can be able to convince and probably take the government on our side that whatever we have been planning in terms of SOPs and the guidelines, if implemented, and what could be the impact, and that could be a right way to do it. The other important thing also, probably we would like your support and help from time to time, to in case of any connection to be done with Mr. Nitin Gadkari, to take the route and reach out to the government. Of course, we have Mr. Rajeshji also available, but having couple of more people, so that this message will be reaching, and we will be coming to you from time to time for any help, and we would require your support.
Certainly I'm there, but I also feel we should use the good offices of Mr. Rajeshji.
Yes, of course.
And announce one event there, maybe a small one B2B event. Yes, but at least announce and take a special permission from the government that we need to demonstrate this. If we can demonstrate that, then it will be easier to go approach other state governments and get the permission.
Absolutely. Yogesh, you want to ask something?
Yeah. Just one thing, because I had said I had to leave at 4:30. Just one point I just recollected, because we are all following up with the government. This is for all venues as well as for us when we are following up. One important point we need to keep noted is the quarantine which is required in each state. So when we are doing exhibitions, normally the exhibitors come from across the state. So whether it's in Mumbai, Delhi, everywhere, and if there's a quarantine, now for example, Mumbai, there's a 14-day quarantine. Maharashtra state. So if there is a quarantine, even if they open exhibitions, we won't have exhibitors or visitors coming from outside the state. It will be only the local market which would be catered to. So for B2B exhibitions, it's a big negative also. So I think we are pushing for opening up. Yeah, Raviji.
Yeah, Yogeshji, here I would like to add that if you have a return ticket, if a business visitor is coming for 2 days to that particular city, or 3 days or maybe 4 days, and if he's going back after that, then there is no quarantine. In Maharashtra also, with the return ticket, if I go to Mumbai from Nagpur with a return ticket after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, there is no quarantine.
Okay, so that's applicable across states, Raviji? That's applicable across states. So if I travel to Delhi also, will that be the same?
As you rightly said, it differs from some state to other state, but most of the state, I think, have permitted like that. And again, for that also, we need to have a representation to them to bring in more clarity.
Yeah. So that we could also include that in our representation also. That is one point just came to struck my mind. So I just thought I'd bring it.
Point,
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll just like to comment what I heard around. I'll just like to say two things on this. One, I think it's a good point. We need to understand right now, if we are asked to hold exhibitions, probably the time is not right. We can't hold it in August. But it is only seeing, but seeing how the things are improving, we hope like interstate mobility has been now permitted, that Mr. Sarkar was mentioning, logistical, even cargo movement interstate, there is no. So we hope Unlock 4 will come up with more unlocking and things will improve as we go along. Even this quarantine guidelines are getting relaxed with more of home quarantine, 14 days to 7 days, and all these things are happening. So our fond hope is that when we get a future date, maybe things will also improve in this same fashion, because we don't know, none of us know tomorrow. In case there is a second phase of COVID, all that we are planning today, and even if we get permission, we plan and have, because in March when it happened, there were a lot of events which were lined up in April also. And those events had to be cancelled at last moment. So these eventualities will always remain in life. Having said that, I'll request IEA, Mr. Bala is here.
Yes.
Some of these concerns which were pointed out, like quarantine issues, domestic travel issues and all, if you can compile all these concerns also and send it across to me also, and you all can also take it up directly with the state governments or MHA or DOC, wherever IEA as a body is taking it up. But we will also use it in our discussions with MHA and DOC and try to see if some of these concerns are also progressively addressed when this exhibition industry unlock is also announced. Because some of these we'll need to, I understand if an exhibitor is coming from abroad, we can't expect in November also there are some quarantine guidelines for interstate travel. So we'll need to see that these are also progressively resolved and eased out a bit. So for those things, let's try to list out those kind of issues so that it's on our top of our head when we interact with whichever government authority we interact with, trying to see that these are also addressed as a complete package. That's my only suggestion.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you for volunteering this, and we'll definitely, share a copy of the representation what we need to send it, as you rightly mentioned, and we will also take it up directly from IEA side also. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi, and thank you, Mr. Agarwal, once again for the support. And may I please request Mr. Anil Kumar to kindly share his perspective. He's representing Chennai Trade Center here. Mr. Anil Kumar.
Good evening, madam, and good evening all there. With the due respect to our ED ITPO, Rajesh Agarwal sir, as you all know, we are being an extended arm of ITPO in the south. Chennai Trade Center has been operating as an individual even venue provider. It's also understood that by everyone that we have been having our center utilized for the quarantine area now. However, we foresee that as ED ITPO sir has stated, maybe by the month of November, we hope that IATF take place, and it will really do a great for all the venue operators, and we will be able to host. But the question arises that how long will our center be utilized for this quarantine area? And our MD Subbalakshmi Madam has also been addressing this issue with the ITPO as well as the state government, and we hope that in a short while, maybe in maximum by the end of November, we also should be able to utilize our area for forthcoming exhibitions. And we are here to support all the organizers, and we request IEIA to keep all this information dispersed to all the, not only the members of IEA, to the entire exhibition community, so that they are also aware about the happenings in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, and we've noted your suggestions and requests, and we'll definitely be working on these. And may I request Mr. Bala Subramanian to please share his perspective with regard to BIEC and Bangalore.
Thank you, Neri. And before that, I just request Mr. Anil Kumar, like we've been requesting Delhi and Bombay also, probably Chennai Trade Center also could make a representation on their own to the government. As you rightly mentioned, Mr. Subbalakshmi is already doing it. Probably there could be something which is coming from IEA also, which we could take it forward from your side, and that could also help us, putting forth our representation to the government. So I would request you to do that also. Coming to Bangalore International Exhibition Center, probably we are in a similar situation what Bombay and even Chennai is there. We have been supporting the logistical support for the migrant workers for the month of May and June. And June, the government announced that they would be using BIEC for the COVID care center. So that's the work which started, and probably July, the work was all started. Probably we expected that probably it would go on a hall phase manner, but ultimately it changed out to be a 10,100 COVID hospital at the moment. And at the moment, probably there are 6,500 beds has already been put, but they are taking patients in a phased manner in hall number 5. Currently, we have close to around 600 patients who are basically asymptomatic patients. They have around 10 different COVID care centers throughout the city. Probably their intention, probably I feel, they would like to have a centralized monitoring system. That's why they were looking at BIC. So currently, in spite of having 10 different COVID centers throughout the city, BIC is added as a facility, and currently we have 600 patients in there. But looking at, for me, it was sort of a benchmark from what I learned from Bombay and to the next in CIDCO also. While they had the capacity of close to around 2,000, and the patients' usage was pretty less, maybe around 10%. So I was thinking that probably that's my personal gut feeling. When Bombay could have that second of only that kind of utilization, probably BIC also may not be used to the extent which they have set up at the moment. So we are currently looking at somewhere August we have, and we're looking at probably September is gone. They would be there. Of course, we do not have any indication as to since when they would be there, but our gut feeling to looking at the discussion, because I'm also part of this discussion which happens within the government and the group that it happens, I feel probably it will go until say September or mid-October. And probably we feel probably the venue will be available by November. Of course, this is one of the topics that we would like to take it up with the government, with BBM, which is the local municipal corporations, to check with them as to, of course, they may not have an answer, but this is what our personal gut feeling says. And we think probably it will be available by November. But in terms of our interactions with the government, yes, we've been constantly in touch with the government. We have had a separate representation made to the Chief Secretary. We were supposed to meet him, but because of this COVID center, and the machinery is already in some kind of discussion. And we think probably we can keep a close coordination with them and see what kind of help could come from the government. And we will, as the other exhibition winners are doing, similar aspects probably from BIC side also we will be doing it and making a representation and seeing, but it all depends upon when this COVID center gets over. Because like since both the venues in Bangalore, it's already gone, whether it is KTPO or BIC, both have gone, we'll have to, it's only a situation where we'll have to wait for some time and then see how the situation pans out. That's the situation as of BIC for the moment.
Okay. Anyone has a question for Mr. Bala?
I have a question for Bala, Raviji, and Chennai. Bala, when they go through the process of making it a COVID center, at that initial stage, do they also put anything in place as to on the day when they will vacate it? What is the time frame which would be given for it to be given for, for your original functional work?
Oh, can I come in? Yeah.
Yeah, Bala. Hanji Raviji.
As far as we are concerned, they just took it over, and there is no information when they are going to vacate it. Initially, they said it's a labor transit camp. Then they converted it as the COVID center, means quarantine center, and now there is a hospital also. And we are not sure, but at least before November, December, they are not going to vacate it. And
no,
they are not committing it.
Sir, I'm saying, I understand that. That is applicable all over. But on the date, do they say anything once they vacate it? How much time do they specify that before it is put to your usual usage? Between the time of vacation?
No. Even that they have not said. But it will be at least 2 months, I think. Because that needs a lot of repairs and other things. Because there have been a lot of
Yeah, same situation is with us. When they moved in somewhere in July, early July, of course, they haven't mentioned anything to the venue, but what we could hear from the other service providers, there's some kind of 100 days. So we think that probably July, August, September. That's how we're looking at. So they were saying something like 100 days.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Bala. I hope just checking if anyone else has a question for Mr. Bala. Okay, as Mr. Bala rightly said, it's very important to take forward the representations at the state levels, and we really look forward to all the support from the venues. So may I now request Mr. Sambit Mun, who is representing HITEX. Mr. Sambit, kindly share your views.
In fact, state governments here in Telangana, they're quite a little bit of hesitant, in fact, to take a decision about giving permissions in the absence of a clear-cut MHA guideline. We spoke to a very senior government official yesterday, and he was quite non-committal, in fact, about September opening. We were expecting that by 31st August something comes up, so he was quite non-committal, because we also had planned something for September. We had taken a risk of, but now it is looking a little difficult. Then we are also in discussion with our local industry association. There is something called Telangana Chamber of Event Industry. So all of us together, we want to build some kind of pressure with the government and want to go and represent about the. Together we'll be meeting senior state government functionaries and update them and request them to look into the matter, and this is also a priority sector kind of thing. Another suggestion I had, which we are also discussing internally at the local level, was in case we get permissions in Unlock 4 in end of this month, can we design some kind of campaign through IIA or at the local level, which will create awareness about SOPs and safety measures in place in the exhibition venue? Something like we are seeing shopping malls. The shopping malls are safe to visit, and that kind of thing, because some confidence has to be built up among attendees, exhibitors, visitors as well. So it will be help to our organizer also, and it will also build confidence in the general population and people who are the stakeholders. So we like to run a campaign somewhere where telling the people that why it's safe to visit an exhibition. So these are the three things primarily. Bala sir.
Okay, thanks Ambit. Thanks for your inputs. As you rightly said, we have an advocacy committee which is working on this. We have put a very structured strategy in terms of how do we, make this campaign which is stronger and reach out to the government. The first thing out of all these things is, we said, since venue being an important stakeholder in the value chain, best to talk to them and find out what is that. Soon, maybe today or day after tomorrow, in the next 2-3 days, we're going to try to meet all the major associations for whom the exhibition plays an important role in their system. We're trying to meet them. And a letter going from the association onto also the government missionaries in terms of how important it is to restart. So the first one is going through the venue. Second is from the association. Then we're also looking at various campaign through the social media, so that this importance of restart of exhibition is reached out to the government. That's the strategy that we chalked out for the next couple of weeks, and probably this will be all structured in a very in a phased manner, and you will be able to see it coming out very soon with us. Anything would like to add? The advocacy team could add.
In fact, I had a small question for Mr. Sudeep Sarkar. We have been hearing about UP government giving permission for large events. So how is it like? Is there any positive development in that? So any large event has come up, or something has been planned in near future?
It is organizing a large event on 5th August. You are definitely seeing that on the TV.
I didn't decide that.
Nothing much to say from my side, but it has already organized one road plantation drive a month back, and it is organizing a very large event on the 5th of August. I'm sure you are keeping a watch on the TV, and you will be able to better update.
Any industry specific, any non-governmental thing, that's what I was wondering. Anything is planned?
Anything is good at this point of time. This is what is my submission.
Yeah.
Anything positive development by any state government on a large scale event is a good and positive news for all of us.
That's from my side.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Samvit, and thank you for sharing the update from Hyderabad. And we really hope that the governments understand the importance of exhibitions, and we really go ahead for conducting exhibitions. Maybe open the house for any further questions by anyone. Mr. Dharampal, you have to say something?
No, Nidhi, I was just
I have a small suggestion for everyone sitting in the room here. Why can't we all venues and everyone come together and create a 3-minute or 4-minute video film with all the SOPs in place? We create a virtual small 10 booth or something like that, where we have a COVID, what all SOPs we had mentioned are temperature screening, and we demonstrate everything to to the government, to the public, so that everyone is well aware. Let's not wait for the opening date and do it after that. Let's do it between this next 10-15 days, so that before unlock 4 we can present that case to the government, and that will be an awareness to the exhibitors, whole exhibitors fraternity, the visitor fraternity, that can act as a video presentation on behalf of the whole industry, I would say.
Gaurav, you are saying they created digitally?
Yes, a proper video film, a 4-minute, 5-minute video film.
With actual stalls, you mean to say?
Yes, actual 4-5.
And actual people walking in?
Just we can show about 10, 20, 30, 40 people. The kind of SOPs what we've made, we should demonstrate how hands are being sanitized, how temperatures are being taken, what all facilities are there. We can have glimpse of all venues. It's ITPO, IEML, HITEX. It can be a collaborative video film made 4-minute or 5-minute. I know it's a very painstaking video, but if we all brainstorm, this can act as a benchmark how exhibitions can happen.
Okay, probably we can explore this.
I would say even we can club in 10-15, not 10-15, maybe 4-5 major organizers. So it can be a club of organizers, venues, service providers, all come together and create a 5-minute video film to show it, yes, how exhibitions will take place.
Okay, probably we can discuss it and explore the possibilities and working on this idea.
Huh?
Thanks, Gaurav.
Any other questions, please? Okay. Mr. Bala, you need to say something before we proceed for a formal vote of thanks for everyone.
And of course, it was a good interaction. We had some good, heartening views and suggestions which has come from Ravi ji, Mr. Rajesh, Sudeep, and everyone. We can put through this and see that, how do we take it forward as part of the advocacy committee and see whatever we have planned in the structured manner as part of our advocacy committee and reaching out to the government can be done. And maybe I can request Sudeep to sum it up and then offer his vote of thanks.
Yeah, thanks. So what we heard today from Mr. Rajesh ji is that yes, IITF, it's a legacy event, and starting it off would be a prestigious issue also for the government of India, and this could be the beginning, and we are all eagerly looking forward to that kind of a beginning. And for that, the SOPs of ITPO has already been submitted by ITPO to the central government, to the Ministry of Commerce, and a lot of follow-up is being made from that side. So we are waiting to at least be on the bus in the month of August, so that we can reach the destination by the start of the November. When the IITF and as I'm forgetting, Yogesh also said that they have also a lot of other large events that is scheduled with IEML that can also start simultaneously. Second, we heard from Ravi ji is that yes, the venues have been taken over and there has been no sign given by the government when the venues would be returned back. And both Bala and Ravi ji both said that even if, on a question by Ravinder ji, that even if the venues are vacated, there may be another 100 days gap to formally get it ready for the shows. So that means there is a time lag over there, and this time lag is a serious issue because 3 months this side and 3 months again that side means a long period of time. So I can understand the kind of the question marks behind that, as well as the eagerness to start off the entire practice. Anandji is also of the similar view from the Chennai side. Yes, they have been taken over, but they have no idea when to start it again. But he is insisting that the information must be shared, and I think this is one of the steps towards sharing the information. And earlier also IIA has shared the information on a regular basis. Now this is becoming more focused towards the venue participation than organizers participation, as Bala gave the flow diagram. Is first the venue, then the organizers, then the social media, then we are going to the government, and in a very focused and phased manner, so that the message is loud and clear, and so that we are on the bus in the month of August. Again, I must say, to start the events by the start of the November. Bala, you have rightly said, yes, there has been a lot of, hospital beds in Delhi also, a lot of that have been created. I heard there is one army hospital created at the airport with 1,000 beds with only 10, occupants. And yours is also approximately 500, which is also giving approximately 10%. You mentioned about Bombay also of 10%. And these are again asymptomatic patients. And CIDCO mentioned that they started with the transit and then it was taken over by the government for the hospital for the patients, and then it became a hospital. In some point of time, the IML was also taken over as a transit venue for almost a month. But maybe the Delhi situation is coming to a little control, but I'm sure the entire India will show a good amount of control. Sambit, it's a very welcome move from your side that you are in touch with the state chambers, and that is one of the most important point that IIA would now carry to the government, including the MSMEs, because their voice need to be heard, the kind of business they are losing out, which Gaurav is also saying that the visitors, I understand those visitors are business visitors, and the exhibitors are also MSME visitors. If all could be, put into a kind of a film through a 10 or 20 booth participation, and maybe, it is irrespective, it's an IIA event maybe, where the initiative is taken by one of the organizers to come bring together, 5 or 6 organizers, some good number of MSMEs, and create a video about the various SOPs and the precautions and all that that can be taken over. And in that, we can give a clarity also, as has been Yogesh asked this question, that whether quarantine would be an issue, which we understood from Raviji that if there is a return ticket, quarantine would not be an issue. And from my side, which I had adjoined, is we must also while we jot down those points, while we make a presentation to the industry, to the commerce industry and to the MSME and to Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, as Ravi ji could have connected us earlier. We are looking forward to that kind of a scenario again, and nicely moderated by Bhupinder, that if we can take on these 10 points of the venue opening, the SOPs and the video, and that of the logistic issue, movement of the logistics, and that of the quarantine issue of the travel, effectively then we can bring in those 5 stakeholders around the table and can project a very simple yet comprehensive plan to the government to achieve the unlock, of the exhibition industry in the next phase of unlock. So this is the submission and summarization of the speakers. I mentioned some, this can be added now, but the writing is clear and the understanding is clear and the feeling is also clear, I believe. Now that is a consensus coming together, is that the first train has to start on November. For that, we have to work 3 months prior. And for that, we have to have a clear SOP. And that SOP would be a close-ended. It could be in the form of a video. If we can all work together in these 4 steps and follow the flowchart that Bala has given for reaching out from the venue to the organizer, to the social media, and then to the government, and create a concerted campaign, as has been, Sambit has also said that, I think we have a larger and a much better probability of winning the chance this time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Sudeep. And with this, we come to a close to our session today. And thank you, everyone, for the participation.
Param wants to ask something?
Yes, please.
No, I was just...
Okay, he's clapping.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking time out and being with us. In case the advocacy committee want to ask something, Mr. Rajesh and Ravi and other venues, they can do it. We have 1 minute. Is there anything missing, Sonia, Ravi, Suraj?
I think we're moving in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah, so thanks, Bala. I think we've covered it beautifully, very well. I think we're on the right track.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Sambit. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.